What's up guys, Kerry here from HomesteadHow, and in today's video we don't have hot water. It's not working. Our hot water heater, which is powered by our outdoor wood burner, is not working. So in today's video we're going to disassemble this entire thing, troubleshoot it. There's lots of little knobs and gauges, and figure out why it's not working, and in the end we're going to end up taking most of this apart. And you'll be surprised to find out the tool that we end up using to fix this. We've got a lot of tools on my homestead, like plumber's wrenches, snakes. So I got this used colonoscopy camera on eBay, plungers, screwdrivers. None of those tools are going to be what we need to fix this. In the end, we're going to need a 4-foot drill bit to fix this. Luckily, my dad, Senior, is in town from Florida, and he's going to help me figure this all out. Hot water from our outdoor wood burner comes in through this tube, and it fills this large tube up right here, and then that hot water exits through here and it goes back to the water heater. So it's constantly circulating through to the water heater, to the water heater. This tube inside is just the water from inside the water heater. So these just touch each other. The hot water from the outdoor wood burner just flows through this and then goes out, but this larger pipe touches this smaller pipe, heating the water up inside the pipe. It's a heat exchanger. So the hot water ends up rising up through this tube and then goes back into the water heater. And then if you look way down here, it's a little messy, but the cold water comes out of this and it goes through here, touches the hot water, it goes whoop all the way up and then back in, and then all day it's doing that. And that's how it's worked for the last several years, but for some reason this year I turned the electric off. And I was pretty happy about that because we don't have to pay this large electric bill to heat our water anymore. But we still had cold water. For some reason, the hot water from outside is not heating our indoor water like it should be. Now I've done all sorts of troubleshooting to try to figure this out. There's lots of valves and everything. The reason we have two water heaters is because of this. This is a mixing valve, and it's a safety feature. If we solely hook this heat exchanger up to our electric water heater, the water could just be scalding hot. In your electric water heater, you can set it to a maximum temperature, and you can say don't go over that temperature for safety reasons so you don't scald yourself. But with this, it could just get hotter and hotter and hotter, and then you could turn that faucet on and you could burn yourself. So for safety reasons, we have these two water heaters. The water in here can get super, super hot, but then it comes up into this valve, and then it mixes with this cold water, and we can adjust it with this valve and then send it over to the electric water heater at a proper temperature that's not too hot. So basically, this line coming in to the water heater is traditionally like your cold water line going into the water heater, and then the hot water comes out of here. For us though, we're putting warmer water in through that cold line into the electric water heater. When we first turned the outdoor wood burner on outside, we ran it for a while, turned the electricity off, the water was still cold. I tried it several times thinking maybe it's just going to take a couple days to heat the water up, but it's still been cold every single time. So then we did some additional troubleshooting. And one thing that we did was, if you look right here, this is the water that's supposed to be heated from the water heater. And we opened this valve up, we put a bucket under it, and the water came out super fast. Then we closed this valve right here and opened this up, and just a little bit of water dripped out. And we turned one of the faucets on. So what we found was there's just very little bit of water pressure coming up through here. That was our test. And another test we did is, if you look down here, we're currently emptying this because we're going to be troubleshooting this, but we emptied this into our shower, and if you look at the pressure coming off of here going into the shower, it's really, really good pressure. There's a ton of water going through this hose. So in theory, when you close this valve off, that water should then go up here and come out here with that same amount of pressure. But it wasn't coming out of here with that same amount of pressure, it's just barely dripping out. So after all this troubleshooting, what we found is we've got good pressure down there, low pressure up here. Something in between there and here is causing the pressure to be low. And then what happens is when this low pressure comes over here, there's still high pressure water in the water heater trying to come out this way. And we know that because if we open this valve up with this open, it just comes shooting out. But then if you close this and open it, it just barely comes out. So basically, long story short, we have a ton of pressure coming this way and just a baby little amount of pressure coming up here. So that hot water is never making it up into here like it should. So we're thinking maybe the problem is down here, and maybe it's this valve. maybe there's some sediment, or maybe the seal on the valve or something is bad where it's not letting the proper amount of pressure going through. So to try to fix that, we're currently emptying out the water heater. I have the cold water that comes in turned off up here, so there's no water going into the water heater. We have the release valve here opened up to let the pressure out so that so there's no vacuum and the water can get out. And we're draining the entire water heater. Once it's drained, we're going to disassemble this piece, and luckily it was installed. It's threaded in there, and then there's a union on this side, so it shouldn't be too terribly difficult to get out. I'm hoping that maybe we just need to replace this, or we open this up and then maybe take this off and there's just a bunch of sediment and junk in there that we need to clean out to get it working. One other thing, we live way out in the middle of nowhere, and a Menards is about an hour away, so if we need another one of these valves, I don't know if I have one or not. Luckily, my father-in-law, who's awesome, used to be in the plumbing business, and he just gave us a ton of stuff about a year or two ago. There was, frankly, some junk in there, and then there was some really, really good stuff, but he just gave us all of it. He gave us like a 55-gallon barrel of stuff, and I had to go through it. And one thing I went through and found a whole bunch of, and these aren't cheap, are various types of valves. So I'm really hoping that I have a valve similar to this in here. Slide it down with solder. Ooh, here we go. 3/4 inch. Pretty sure that's 3/4 inch down there. Look at that. That looks like that's the exact same one. That's pretty cool. So I'm hoping that we take this apart and that there's a blockage in here. See, like right now it's perfectly open, but like I said, we're getting almost no flow coming through there, so something has to be blocked down here. Maybe it's filled up with sediment, maybe the valve itself is failing. So that's going to be the next step. We're going to unscrew this, take it apart, and hopefully this fits, because I don't want to have to run an hour, 2 hours round trip to Menards to try to fix it. Pretty clean water. It's empty. That sort of tells me wonder if this thing is clogged up. Yeah. Yeah, the high pressure coming out of here, but not at the top of the pipe. So it's somewhere in between here and there. Burn myself.
Maybe that heat exchanger is.
The only thing this is though is it's just the pipe going in the center of this sleeve, basically.
I know. I'm saying maybe inside that pipe it's clogged up.
So somewhere between here and up here, there's a clog or something, we think. So we're gonna hook. This water has pressure from the outside wood burner. We're gonna hose up to this tube, which we think is clogged. So now I'm gonna turn it on and see if anything comes out of the bottom. That's full. That's crazy.
No, oh, that's supposed to be.
I hear a little bit now. That's coming out way too slow. Something's got to be clogged in there. Steam coming out.
We need to run something up in there and make sure that's clear. Do you have a, you don't have a snake, huh? How about a piece of Romex or something where we can shove it up in there?
Yeah, I got that. So I got this used colonoscopy camera on eBay that we're gonna try and shove up the tube and see if it's jammed, because he stuck some Romex up there and it seems like it's jammed. So he's sticking the camera in there, and here's what we're seeing on the screen.
Okay, I'm coming up to it. Does it look like I'm coming up to it?
Yeah, I can see the edge of the pipe. Okay, now you can see the copper. Now you got a good shot. Go slow.
Ew.
Now there's some calcium and slime around the side, but it's not that bad. Okay, well, there's something. Go back like 2 inches. Can you pull it out a little?
Yeah.
Yeah, it hit something.
Or take a rod and shove it up in the basement.
Oh, jeez.
So we're gonna try to
Unsolder that.
pop it down.
Got a new one of those.
You see the clog right there? Why?
Because it's calcium.
So we're gonna go to Menards and get some, if we can get a threaded rod or something that's long enough to get all the way through this. See if we can fix it. Yeah. Just can't tell underneath this, is it good? Resolder so I can get it on my camera.
Yeah.
Now look, now this is closed and it's coming out way faster. I'll close this one. Just turn the valve back on so the hot water's coming back in. It's going up quick, it's at 100 now. Should start getting hot over there in a second. 120. Yeah, I need new insulation now. Oh yeah, it's getting hot. This was our problem right here. Is it pure calcium?
Yep.
Someone should clean that up.
It'll dry up by tomorrow and we can vacuum it up.
Oh yeah, we're getting up to heat now, 150, 160. Alright guys, so it's 2 days later. As you saw, I threw the circuit breaker switch, so we're no longer using electric, and we've got 120 degrees coming off of the water heater, and I can still adjust this. So we fixed the problem. It was clogged right here. It was just a little bit of a clog. We were able to get that 4-foot drill bit in there and clean the whole pipe out, and everything's working now.